What is going on, guys, and welcome to episode 1 of my new career mode on my channel, JCG Gaming. So as you can see here, this is going to be a Borussia Dortmund career mode, so let's not do any waiting around, let's get straight into it. So as you see here, as we're going into our emails, they say, the board say that for the domestic cup we need to reach the final, which I think is definitely achievable. I mean, there's only a few big teams in the Bundesliga like Wolfsburg and Schalke, and Bayern Munich obviously the biggest one, so that should be achievable. And obviously we get the standard transfer market email saying that it's open, that we should be looking for players. And then the board say that, the assistant manager says that we should be looking for a striker. So obviously reviewing the scout report, and obviously there's a few players in here that we probably won't look at. They're all quite young, which is good, but I'm not really interested in anyone here. So obviously we'll get rid of that. And I'm sure we get the scouts introduce themselves, so I'm just going to recall every single one of them and delete all the scout instructions, because I don't want any scouts coming back with players, because that's not needed at the minute. And then the league objective from the Dortmund board is to win the league title, which definitely should be achievable for us. So guys, as you can see here, we've listed Kirch up on a transfer list, 1.5 million. He's 72 rated and 31 years old, so you don't really see him in my plans, to be honest. And then we've got 3 players listed up for loan: Bondman, Weigl and Dutch. I think that's how you pronounce his name, but don't quote me on it. But they need some time to go out on loan. They're not going to be involved in the first team, so they need to go on loan, get some experience, and hopefully come back higher rated. So let's get into some transfer targets. So guys, as you can see here, I've inquired for a few left midfielders, as I think that's probably the weaker position that we have. I mean, Marco Reus I'm going to play in the centre attacking mid role in a 4-2-3-1, so I don't really see him playing out on the left. So obviously we need one left mid, I think, because we've got a load of right mids, so one of them can surely play on the left. So I've inquired for Bittencourt, Draxler, Marko Arnautovic and Nacer Chadli. And at the moment I'm probably favouring Bittencourt, so I'm going to stick a cheeky £7 million bid in for that, and hopefully they come back and accept that. But I wouldn't be too sure, as he is 20 years old and he has got showing great potential, Mark. And Nacer Chadli, I'm going to put a bid in as well. £14.5 million is the asking price. I'm going to knock that down to £8.5 million and hopefully come back with that accepted. And here we do also get a Champions Cup objective, obviously Champions League, but here don't have the licence in, and they expect us to reach the knockout stages, which should be really achievable. And that's a bit of an insult, really, and I think we should probably go further than that, should I say. And I think semi-finals at least for us, with a team of our quality. And here you see we do have a transfer offer from Man City for Mats Hummels, and they've offered £47 million. I want at least 75 for Mats Hummels, and I'm not going to go any lower than that for him, because that's just pointless, really. And here you go, they come back saying they're willing to pay £67.5 million, which I'm just going to reject now, because there's no way they're going to go up to the price that I want. Here we have a transfer offer for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Spurs, £16.5 million. I mean, he's 81 rated, 25 years old, obviously got bags of pace, which is my ideal striker. I am a bit of a pace whore, so I'm going to bump that up to £40 million. And if Spurs want to meet that, which they probably won't, then they can take him off in and I'll find a better replacement. Oh, we have our transfer offers back. So Spurs say they want £11 million for Nacer Chadli, and Hanover say they want £8 million for Bittencourt. So I'm definitely going to put an £8 million bid in for Bittencourt, and I'm going to leave the Chadli deal for the minute, but I'm not going to delete it out just in case the Bittencourt deal does not go through. And here we see Spurs say that they are only willing to pay £20 million for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, which I'm just going to reject because they're not going to meet the price that I want. So there's no point even negotiating with them. Here we have a transfer from Mats Hummels again, from Chelsea this time. So I'm going to put in what I did with Man City, £75 million. If you can pay that, you can have him. I mean, £75 million could do a lot to the squad. We can improve it. Probably being in a better centre back to understand Hummels for £75 million. And here they are. They come back saying they're only willing to pay £55 million. So let's just reject that, like we did with Man City. They're not going to pay the amount that we want. So there's no point us even negotiating with them. Oh, here we go. Bittencourt. Hanover 96 have accepted the transfer offer. So he wants 45 grand a week, which we're not going to pay him, so we'll just bump up to 27,500 from 25,000. So give him on a 5-year deal because he's young, got good potential, and we're not going to specify the squad role. Oh, he's declined his contract because he needs to understand the squad role that he's going to have. So we'll just go and bump up to 27,500. We'll give him a 5-year deal, and I'm going to put in there sporadic first team player and just see what it says, because he won't be. There's no chance that he will be, but I like to give players as low squad roll as I can, just to prevent them from being unhappy. And here we go, he's accepted that. Oh, I'm really surprised actually. Okay, so first signing of the window, £8 million. Leonardo Bittencourt from Hanover 96. Should be a decent signing with good potential. Welcome to the club, son. And then here you see we also have a transfer offer for Kevin Campbell, one of the new players at Borussia Dortmund in real life. Just to clarify, I have updated squads personally. I've done the EA download updates. I brought in players like Castro and Weigl, because obviously they weren't with them, but it's getting on to the point now where the new season starting is sometime in July. So I've put those players to Borussia Dortmund, so it makes it a bit more realistic. So for this Campbell deal, I'm going to up it to 25 million. And if Aston Villa match that, which they probably won't, as usual, then they can have him. Yeah, there we go. They're not going to match that, which does not surprise me at all. Well, here we have transfer offers for Bondman and Bender. So Bondman is going to go on loan to VFR Aylan, which, get him off the wages, get him into some experience. And then £11 million for Bender from Southampton. 25 years old, 80 rated, valued at £10.5 million. I'm going to bump this up to 25, and if Southampton can match out, which they probably won't, as always, then they can have him. We'll transfer offer for Aubameyang again, this time from Wolfsburg. Say they paid £20 million. We'll do the same with Tottenham and bump that up to 40. And then they come back saying they're only willing to pay £11 million for Bender, so we'll just reject that as they're not going to meet the fee that we want. There you go. Wolfsburg come back with a £24.5 million bid for Aubameyang, but I'm just going to reject that because they're not going to meet the £40 million price tag that we've put on him, so there's no point in negotiating with them. So you see here, guys, we've got a transfer offer for Julian Weigl, and he's going to go on loan to SK Sturm Graz, obviously get some experience. So 65 rated at 18 years old, he's definitely got some room to grow, so that should be beneficial for him and for us in the future. And as you can see here, I've put in 2 inquiries for Ricardo Rodriguez and for Antonio Rudiger. So I think these 2 players would definitely benefit the team and allow a few of the youngsters that I've got maybe in the 3rd or 5th choice positions in respect to the centre-backs and left-backs, would allow them to go on loan. So I am going to put in bids for them, but this Ricardo Rodriguez though, I'm going to stick in a £14 million bid for him, and hopefully they'll accept that. They probably won't, because he is a very good young talent with a lot of potential. And Rudiger, I'm going to half that and stick in about a £7.5 million bid for him, and hopefully they come back and accept those. Here guys, we got our first run against Cesena, so all I'm going to do is sim it. I don't really care who's playing, to be honest. We've got a strong squad as it is, so if I wait for it, sim it, 6-0 win, 2 for Kagwa, 2 for Aubameyang, 1 for Royce, 1 for Goodwan. Seems good to me. And here we go, we've got a transfer offer for Aubameyang from Monaco for £16 million, and we're going to put 40 in like we've done with all the other teams, and if they accept that, we can always bring in a better replacement. Here we have a transfer offer for Oliver Kirch for £1.4 million from Werder Bremen. I'm going to accept that because we just want to get him off the wage bill, want to get him out of the club because he's not going to be used, and that will just end him up with an unhappy player. And here we go, they want £11 million for Antonio Rudiger, so I'm going to up this to £10 million and just see what they come back with. Obviously we want to get him cheaper than what they value him at, but he has got a good future, so hopefully we'll be able to get him in. And here we see we have sold Oliver Kirch to Werder Bremen of €1.4 million. We get 1.2 million of that to the budget, and Monaco come back and said they're only willing to pay 16 million for Aubameyang, so we'll just reject that straight away because it's not the valuation that we have for him. And Wolfsburg come back and say they want £21.5 million for Ricardo Rodriguez, so I'm going to bump that up to about £18.5 million and see what they come back with, because hopefully that'll be enough for them. See here guys, we got our second friendly of pre-season is against Sunderland, so I'm going to do the same with the first one. I'm just going to go through, we're going to sim it, hopefully we get a win. If we don't, it doesn't really matter too much, but yeah, there we go, 1-1, goal from Gundogan. Although it was a bit worrying as Weidenfeller did get injured, but he should be fine. Let's just see this, how long is that for? Broken collarbone, out for about 8 weeks. That's a bit worrying, to be honest. But here we go, we have had the Rudiger deal accepted for £10 million, so he wants 50 grand a week from 30, so we're not going to offer him that, we're offering 32,500. We'll give him a 5-year deal and just hope he comes back and accepts that. Here we go, we have got Ricardo Rodriguez, a transfer offer accepted for £18.5 million, so we'll stick him in a contract. He wants 90 grand a week from 80, so we'll give him 82.5. We'll give him a 5-year deal because he's got good potential, and then we'll submit the offer. So, guys, obviously seeing what happened to Weidenfeller in the previous game out for 8 weeks, I do want to bring in a cover goalkeeper. And these two both have got the showing great potential tag. So, Karius is obviously 12.5 million, Horn 15.5 million. So, I'm going to stick in £6 million bid for Karius and 6.5 million, I think, yeah, and see what comes back with that. And I'm going to stick the same bid in for Horn as well and just see if they will accept that. Hopefully they will, but I'm not too optimistic on that. Here we go. Rudiger has declined his contract because he needs to understand the role he will have in the squad. So we'll put it up to 32,500 again, 5-year contract, and I'm going to offer him a sporadic first team player and just see if he can come back, and we'll accept that. And as you can see here, guys, we're into our third and final friendly of the pre-season against Deportivo, so we will sim it again. Obviously, we've had to change it around a bit because Weidenfeller got injured, unfortunately, so skip this. 2-0, 2 goals for Aubameyang, 2 goals for the main striker, which is what you want for him to have confidence going into the start of the season. And as you see here, we have a transfer offer of him for £18 million from Stoke. He's gone up an overall as well, which is good. But you know what, we're going to put 40 million again, and they probably won't accept it. But it doesn't really matter because we do want to keep him for as long as possible. And as you can see here, guys, Ricardo Rodriguez has accepted his contract offer. He's going to come in for £18.5 million, and this is a quality signing in my opinion. He's got good potential and he will rival Smelcher for that left-back spot. Oh, here we go, guys. We have £6.5 million has been accepted for Timo Horn. I'm really surprised at that. He wants 70 grand a week from 40. We won't offer him that. We'll offer him 42,500. Offer him a 5-year deal and see what comes back with that. And what we're going to do, because this other one has been rejected, we're just going to get rid of it because we don't need him if Horn's going to come in for that amount of money. And Rudiger has accepted his contract, so he's coming in for £10 million, £32,500 a week. Pretty good signing for us, some decent potential, and should help us out in the centre-back department. Here you have a transfer offer for Lucas Piszczek, £15.5 million from Sunderland. I think, because he's one of the better left-backs now, but he is getting a bit old, I think if we can take £22.5 million for him, that will allow us to bring in a good replacement and should be beneficial for us. And Stoke City have come back in with £19 million, and I'm just going to reject that because there's no point. Timo Horn has declined his contract because he needs to understand the role he will have at the club. So obviously we're offering the £42,500 again, 5-year deal, and then sporadic first team player and see what happens. Here he comes back and says he wants a bigger role in the squad, which is obviously a bit risky for us as he probably won't get too much game time. But we're from the 5-year deal and we're from squad rotation player, and hopefully that's good enough for him. Here we have a transfer offer for Dux. Good, he's going out on loan because I really don't know how to say his name, shall I say. Union Berlin. Take him, hopefully he grows a few overalls. So might be, if he's lucky, be involved in the first team picture next year. And Lazio coming with a £23 million bid for Aubameyang, and I'm going to put that straight back at 40, as we've done with all of their teams, and say if you match that, you can have him. Lazio come back and say they're only willing to pay £23.5 million for Aubameyang, so we're just going to reject that and submit the offer and get rid and just leave it because they're not going to meet what we want, so there's no point negotiating with them. And Timo Horn has accepted his contract, £42,500 a week, £6.5 million deal. Got good potential as far as I know, so should be a good goalkeeper for the future. Let's get him into the team. So guys, we've got a transfer offer for Marian Sarr, obviously someone looking to get out on loan, so he's going on to FC St Gallen. So hopefully, you know, goes up a few overalls as always and gets better and can reach his full potential. Transfer offer for Jeremy Dudziak, and he's going on loan to FC St Pauli for the season. So hopefully, as with Sarr, he goes up a few overalls and can reach his good potential. Here we get transfer offer for Jakub Blaszczykowski, 16 million from Sevilla. I'm going to counter that with 27 million because he is 28 years old, but he is still 82 rated and he's still a quality player, so I think that would be a decent fee for us to get back, and hopefully we could bring someone in for that. And as you can see here, guys, they come back with £18 million, and I'm just going to reject that because that is not enough. As that is majority of our transfers done, and we're coming up to the first game, which we played in the next episode, I'm just going to do a quick squad report so you can see the overalls of people that we got and people that we've brought in and people that are still at the club. So you see Weidenfeller, 81 rated. He is getting old, but goalkeepers at that age in FIFA do go up. Horn, 76 rated at the age of 21, looks like a very good goalkeeper for the future. Berkey, 23 years old, 79 rated, does look very good as well. And I'm just going to scroll through the rest of them so you can see them, give you a few time. Feel free to pause the video if you do want to focus on some of the stats or have a look. But I'm quite filled with quite a bit of promise for this team. It has got some very good first team players and some very good squad players as well. I mean, most of the squad players as well aren't older players and aren't like amazingly good players that would get into first teams of every other team in the league. So that's quite good, because the balance of the team will still be good, and there won't be too many players who will be unhappy with their roles. As you can see there, Rodriguez 81 rated, sorry. Well, maybe 87 rated in 4 years' time, but definitely not now. So yeah, obviously, league-wise, we do want to win the league. I'd definitely like to do the double over Bayern Munich, Schalke, Wolfsburg, and eliminate all threats to the title as soon as possible, and hopefully do build quite a big lead at the top, because I think that's what we need to do, especially if results start dropping off for ourselves. Say when we get to February, March time, then we do need that buffer for when that form does drop, because it does happen with every team in every season. So we do need that maybe 5-6 point gap that could be beneficial for us, especially as we are serious title contenders this year, and I do think we have got the squad to do it. So guys, you've seen the squad report there. This game against Bayer Leverkusen will be in the next episode, so if you have enjoyed this first episode of Dortmund Career Mode, then do leave a like. If you do want to see more, do drop a sub so you don't miss any more of my videos, and you'll know when this second episode comes out. That's if YouTube sub boxes are working, which probably won't, to be honest. And I will see you guys next time.